Hello, you guys. Wow, it's been a minute. Oh, between spring break and family and mothering and all that kind of stuff, it's been hard to find a quiet moment to actually do a video. But anyway, so let's move on to trying to find a good spot here while the house is quiet. Um, Fire, right? The last one in the series. How do they interact with other personalities? All right. So the fire personality type. I forgot to put my feet. I can show my feet. I'm barefoot on the floor. Anyway, so those are people who are big and bold and exciting and excitable, and the type of people who may or may not know what they're talking about, but the way they're speaking about it, the energy they put behind every word is enough to convince you. You know, the kind of people who believe they're on bullshit. They believe it so much that they could influence you. They could get you all fired up. Those are the motivators. Those are the people, by the time they're done with you, you're like, ah! Let's go. These people make great motivational speakers sometimes because they have so much passion and fire in them, right? They are big and bold and they believe in themselves so much that they could almost infuse that certain confidence within you. They could inspire you, right? They are influencers. They inspire so much boldness in people. If they have an idea, they have a way of presenting it to you in the way you like. By the time they're done with you, when done right, and if they put a little emotion behind it, you're like, yes, let's go. And when you finally come down, you're like, wait, what was it about again? I can't even remember. But you're swept up with the energy of them, of how they say a thing. They believe it so much, they make you believe it. Like I said, these people, they believe in their own bullshit. Like, you cannot tell them otherwise, because they believe it and this is what they're sticking to, right? Anyway, so when they are with, let's say, with a air element, right? These people do well, all right? They could influence the air energy person to be more more loud. Let's think of fire, the actual fire, and air. If you have a fire in a garden and it's like summer and it's dry and the wind is blowing, good luck. It's gonna wipe everything out. That they maximize so much of the fire, of the air element's capacity to be um to be uh to be who they are and what they want to be, that when they're together you almost cannot see who's what, because they kind of blend in very well with each other. They are in mesh with each other. That's my little remote thing for this. That they influence each other very well. Those people are easily buddies, but then if they are going in the wrong trajectory together, this could go really bad, because not one of them has the power to really have someone have a full stop, right? But they make good friends, obviously, right? Those are the people who you could get a fire element person with a air element person. These are people who are gonna go, they're going to debate. There's people who always have to debate someone. Yeah, that's one of those. All right, so we have a fire element with water. All in good balance here, because there's two elements. They don't really mix well together without a lot of without balance, right? Because water could extinguish fire completely, or um, fire could completely consume uh, water where it dries it out, right? It dries it out, it evaporates. Oh, yeah. So there's always got to be some kind of balance between those two. So fire with water can be a good mix only if they have a certain understanding. Two people water energy people could tend to get a little emotional and stuff like that, so they have to, it's almost like the water energy person would have to try to not get overheated and overwhelmed and swept away by the fire element passion, right? Especially if they're not in agreement as far as friendship and stuff like that, or as lovers, if they're not in agreement, this could be an argument where somebody's gonna go off, slamming the door. Because, like, I feel like you're shutting me down, you're not listening to me. And the other person could be like, I'm overwhelmed, you're trying to take over, you're trying to bark orders, you're trying to kind of make me do what you want to do, because you're like, so this is what I want to do, and that's final. So that's kind of, it could be a bit unbearable or overbearing, right? Moving on to the fire in earth. Ooh, extreme difficulty here, because earth people could be firmly planted in their belief. They're immovable, they're unshakable, you can't change their mind. And the fire energy is gonna come, let's do this. Too much caffeine in my body, you guys. I'm loaded. I had to have energy for my son to, because he's bouncing off the wall. But anyway, they have to be in agreement. When these people are on the same trajectory, the fire element personality in the earth element personality, they do better. They could meticulously work together. The fire energy person could put some fire under the earth person's ass, because you know what, earth element people, they take their time, and that frustrates the fire element. The fire element, they're sort of like ready to go. I'm passionate, let's go now. I'm ready. I'm excited, let's get on to it, And the earth element is like, okay, well, so let's see all the facts and everything, you're like stopping the show here. Let's get going. So this could be a frustration where the earth personality person could feel like they're being rushed or pushed, and then the fire element person is like, okay, you're just moving too slow. I need the show on the road, and we need to get this project off the ground. These people, they do better. Like, these people work better from my personal experience. The earth personality person and the air personality person, they work well in business and project, in a professional setting, and project that has time. But something that needs to be done and be done now, ooh, these people could bump heads very much, a lot, because the fire is at full speed, not really thinking about everything and all the pros and cons, the things that you need to put into play. The earth element is more meticulous about details and stuff like that, and one is rushing and one is slowing down. That could create a lot of frustration. But in business and a project that needs precision, they work together, so the earth person doesn't drag its feet too long, and the fire element has the earth person to balancing out. So when there's like holes to be filled and things that needs to be done in a more meticulous way that requires an extra set of eyes, the earth people are very good at making sure those things are done. Okay, and then so let's say fire with, let's see, I did water, I did air. Okay, fire with fire, I suppose. Fire with fire, they obliterate everything. Those are people who make good, especially if you're talking about teenagers. Two buddies with fire energies. I mean, this could be a very high adrenaline friendship. These people, they bounce off each other, and they're like high adrenaline seekers, stimulation to the max. They get loud. If you ever see people at a game and they're watching the game and their team is winning, everybody's like, ah! The excitement is just so thick you could cut it with a knife. I thought the boys were home. Anyway, so they do well because they're in the same energy. They could overdo it easily. They burn each other out very frequently, because when they're finally took a minute to kind of step back and everybody's fatigued, they're completely wiped out. You could consider these people to be done for a couple of hours. They need to recharge because they obliterate each other's energy. They could match each other's energy, but at the same time, the adrenaline level, especially for somebody who's a bystander, or if you have a young kids with that personality and you're the parent, good luck. Caffeine, you're gonna need it. And good night rest, because they wear you out, right? And that's pretty much my situation right now with my son. You know, and it's spring break, so I needed to have more time for the family. But anyway, you guys, that is all. I don't know if I missed some, but a lot of this information is repetitive because I had to do all the different signs. But I'm happy this little personality project is over, and on to the next one. I can't make promises when I'm going to make video, but next week I'm going to load more because I'm going to have more time. People are going to be back in school and I'll be more free. All right, guys. Mwah. Bye. Uh-oh. Is that working?